In Matthew chapter 11 and verse 27, Jesus said, "All things have been delivered to me by my Father, and no one knows the Son except the Father, nor does anyone know the Father except the Son, and the one to whom the Son wills to reveal him." That verse reminds us that Jesus is the perfect revelation of God. As Hebrews chapter 1, verses 1 through 3 tells us, God spoke in many ways in the past, through prophets, visions, and symbols. But in these last days, Jesus has spoken to us through his Son. John echoes that truth when he says, "No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him." In Jesus, God has made himself known, not just through words, but through a life, a body, and ultimately through the cross. As one writer put it, in Jesus Christ, God was spelling himself out in language that man can understand. But God didn't reveal himself simply to expand our knowledge. The revelation of Jesus has a purpose: to restore our trust. When Adam and Eve sinned, it wasn't just disobedience, it was distrust. The serpent convinced them that God was holding something back, that he couldn't be fully trusted. And once trust was broken, obedience followed quickly behind. At the cross, God repaired that breach. In Jesus, we see that God can be trusted, even with our lives. As Paul wrote in Romans chapter 8 and verse 32, "He who did not spare his own Son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things?" When we take the bread and the cup, we remember that the God who made us did not abandon us. He gave himself for us. He didn't reveal his power so that we would be impressed. He revealed his love so that we would trust him again. And that trust leads somewhere. Jesus said in John chapter 15 and verse 14, "You are my friends if you do whatever I command you." The Lord's Supper is a moment not only to remember his sacrifice, but to renew our faith, a faith that leads us back to obedience, back to fellowship, and back to life. The author George MacDonald once wrote, "The mission of the Son was not just to forgive men, but to give them God himself. For only God, the gift, can turn sorrow into joy." So as we partake of the bread and the cup this morning, let's remember, in Jesus, God has revealed himself as perfectly trustworthy. He has given himself for us, that we might learn to trust him, obey him, and live again in his presence.